Okay, so we'll continue our discussion on string. Okay, so yes, we saw how to do indexing in string. Now we'll talk about functions which are specific to string. Okay, now in object-oriented programming concept, okay, we have a concept called class. Okay, and we saw on day one itself that when we were looking at the data type, it always said class integer, class string, class bool, right?
Right.
So each of these are called as class. Okay, each of this data structure is actually a class. Okay, now again, we'll have greater discussion about class later um, when we have a separate discussion on class. Okay, what is class, how it is used, and things like that. But for now, let's understand class is a collection of your variables and functions. Okay, so we've been using functions, right? Like yesterday also we used function len. Now these are
Yeah.
global functions which can be applied on most of the uh, variable, most of the object. Okay, and you don't need these are global in the sense you can use it everywhere, right? You can use it on um, string, you can use on list, you can use on data frames and things like that. But now we are talking about string, and string has its own set of functions. So the function which belongs only to string, okay, will be in class, defined in class string. So when I say something like this, when I say str1 equal to hello, okay, I'm defining an object which belongs to class string. So str1 is an object, okay, which represents. So you will have only one class. You will not have multiple classes. Okay, I mean to say you'll have multiple classes, but if you talk about string, so there is only one class called string. Okay, so only one
Mhm.
class called string, but you can have many objects of that class string. You can have many objects belonging to that class string. So str1 is an object which has a value hello. And since str1 is hello, it belongs to object of belong no it belongs is as an object, it belongs to class string. And since it's member of string, it will have its own set of properties. For example, if I say that I am working on laptop. Now, the moment I say I'm working on laptop, there are some properties which you understand, right? If I say I'm typing on laptop, you'll say yes, you can type on laptop. If I'm listening to song on laptop, you said yes, you can listen to song because these are the properties of laptop, right? But if I
Yeah.
say that I'm using laptop as a cricket bat, you will say
Mhm.
no, that's not right, correct?
Yeah.
Because you don't associate it playing cricket, I mean, playing a laptop as a bat, you don't
Mhm.
associate it with laptop. So similarly, when you say string, okay, there are some set of properties which are automatically understood. Okay, means automatically understood because these are created by the creators of string class. When we go to class and objects, we will learn to create our own objects there. Okay, we will learn to create the class and objects. We will learn to add functions and variables to the class.
Okay.
So we learn then how to do all these things. But for now, we'll use inbuilt class. We'll use inbuilt functions which are there in the class. So functions which is part of class are called as methods. So the right word here is method. So when I say method, you know that these are functions that belongs to specific class. Okay, these are methods. Functions belong to special. When I say functions, that means you're talking about global function like print, input, len, etc. But when I say method, so you'll ask me, okay, method, but which class? Because methods will exist with class only. So I'm going to say methods of class string. Okay. Now to call the methods of class string, how do you call the methods of class string? So you will say the object name because str1 is the object name and you put a dot here.
Mhm.
When you say dot, okay, these are all the functions. Okay, these are all the functions that are available in class string. Okay. I'm going to do 70% of these, but I would suggest you practice 100% of these functions.
Sure.
Okay. So all the M that you see, M stands for, you see the M here? PyCharm is marked as all M, 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 M. M
Oh,
stands
yeah.
for
Method?
method. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So all these are methods. So index is a method, count is a method, strip is a method, join is a method, split is a method, title, ends with, starts with, replace, is alpha. All these are methods. Okay. So we'll see. First we'll start with all is method. Okay. So you have is.
Mm-hmm.
So when I type is, you see is alpha, is digit, is alnum, is upper, is lower, is space, etc. Right? Now
Yeah.
these methods will either return true or false. So
Okay.
is like asking question. Is like asking questions. Okay. Is like asking questions. Now when you ask questions, okay. So is it? So either I'll say yes or no, isn't it? So same way, all these is methods that you see has an answer either true or false, nothing in between, okay? Just true and false. So when I say is alpha, so are you asking string one, str1, is it alpha? That means is it
Yes.
alphabet?
Alphabet soon. Okay.
Okay. So hello is alphabet, sure. Is digit? We'll check if it is just digits. How many
Yeah.
digits are there?
None.
No, not in this case, but generally how many digits are there?
Eh, In
Generally.
in a lot?
No, digits are only 10. Okay.
Okay.
0 to
Okay.
9, right? Those are digits, right? Digits are just 0 to 9. Okay. Just like alphabet, you have only 26 alphabet, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah. True.
Now if you consider capital, because Python treats capital and small separately, so you'll have 26 plus 26, 52 alphabets, right? Because smaller case, lower case, and uppercase are treated differently. So you will have 26 plus 26, 52 alphabets. Okay, so you have 52 alphabets, 10 digits, alnum. Alnum stands for alphanumeric. So alphanumeric will have 52 plus 10. Okay, anything more than 66 is considered as false there. Is it uppercase? Now, is str1 uppercase?
No.
Oh, so this will also give you false. Is lower? Is it lowercase?
True.
Yes. Is it a space? Is space. Is it a space?
True. No. False.
False. Okay. Similarly, you have, um, you have title. So we talk about title case.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a title case means your first character has to be positive. Sorry, positive uppercase.
Yeah. False.
Okay. Your first character has to be uppercase. So that is called is upper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's try to use this and see. So is okay, is alpha, okay, str1 is digit, str1 is alphanumeric, str1 dot, okay, we'll say is um, title case, okay. So
Okay.
title case is to check if it is title case, okay. Now each of these, this is going to be true, false. What will this give us?
Uh. True.
Yes, it will give us true because alphanumeric means either alpha or numeric, right?
Numeric.
So
Yeah.
it is alpha. So alphabet will give us true.
Okay.
I'm going to get it here. Okay. So now when you run it, so you get true, false, right? It is true because it's alphabet. It's false because it's not digit. Alphanumeric, it is true. And title case is false. Title case means first character is
Capitalist.
capital. Okay. So, okay, this is what you get true here. So these
Mhm.
are some of functions, which uses is. So, so when you're using this, like when you're using input, right? So when I say val1 equal to int of input, right? I'm saying enter a number. Okay. Now, when you run this, it says enter a number, right? So you need to enter a number, right? But
Mhm.
instead of number, I enter alphabet. What happens? Because alphabet cannot be converted to integer.
Yeah.
Alphabet cannot be converted to integers. So in this case, what happens?
We have to remove the int.
Yeah, you need to remove, but I need to enter a number, right? So I need to enter a number. So I need to have number itself, right?
Oh
See,
yeah.
I need to calculate, let's say, area of a square, and I need
Mhm.
the side value, right? So to get a side, I have to convert into integer. But what if user has not given integer? So what I can do here is I'll remove int from here,
Mhm.
okay? And before, I convert into integer, I will check if val1. Now see, by default, it is read as string, right? So it will
Yeah.
have all the properties of string. So I'm going to say if val1 is digit, if this is true, then I'm going to say val1 equal to int of val1. Okay, else I will say print you have not entered a valid number, right? Otherwise, I'll say you have not entered a valid number. Now, when you run it, so see, it's saying enter a number, and I say E.
Mhm.
When I say E, what happened? See, it says you have not entered a valid number, right? It says you have not entered a valid number. I'll run it again. I don't know why it's taking lots of time. It's clearly, isn't it?
Mhm.
55, and it got converted to integer 55, right?
Yeah.
So this is how you can use it for your purpose. You can use it. You can use it for your numerical calculations and analysis. Okay,
Okay.
that's how you can use is. Again, you type is, and there are a lot of other things you try to practice. Now, um, uh, okay. So now let's look at other um, what do you call methods which are there in string. Okay. So so far we have seen methods using which we converted, right? We converted to um like we're checking actually. Okay, we're checking, is it integer, or is it number or capital or lower, right? Now
Mhm.
we will write, okay, things where we will convert it. Okay, so I'm going to go to next file here, and let's say I have val1 equal to, let's say, hello, and I'll put HELLO. Now, if I
Mhm.
need to convert into lowercase, okay, so I will say here um, lower, and here I'll say value1 dot lowercase. Okay, so is lower is to check if value is lowercase. and just lower is used to convert into lowercase. So when you run it, okay, sorry, it'll point to the old one only, right? To run this new file. So I go to P1 and run P1. So it says hello. Okay. It
Okay.
converted into lowercase. Okay. Similarly, if you want to convert into uppercase, okay, you will say value1 dot upper. Now, where will you use this? Now, let's say I want to check if you're eligible to vote in India or not.
Mm.
To check if to vote in India or not, you need to be
Over 18.
Indian, yeah, Indian citizen and over 18 years of age,
Yeah.
right? So if you talk about just age, okay, say age equal to int of input, enter your age, right? Now
Yeah.
you can easily check, okay? I'll put check something like this equal to 0, and then I'll say if age greater than or equal to 18, check equal to 1, right? And then I'll say if, okay. Now, I mean, I wanted to have differently, but let's, for this purpose, let's, you know, let's do inner condition, okay? Okay, so I can say here, if, okay, or you'll enter view, right?
Mm-hmm.
Citizen equal to input, enter your country of citizenship. Okay, enter your country of citizenship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is your age and this is your citizen, right? Now, if age is greater than 18, right? And you can say, and citizen equal to India, let's say. Double equal, right? You're checking condition. So if citizen equal to India, if both are true, you will say print
You
print,
are eligible.
yes, you are eligible to vote in India. Now, else you are not eligible to vote in India, right? Now
Yeah.
you run it, okay? So enter your age, I'll say 18. And country of citizenship, I'll say India. Now you see, it says you're not eligible to vote in India. Why?
Why? I don't know.
I'm checking for India with capital I, okay?
Okay.
I'm checking India with capital I, right? And, okay, and I entered small I. Now, in such case, you see, okay, when I can enter anywhere, right? I can enter I capital, D capital, I can enter all capital, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you cannot have multiple conditions, right? Because you don't know, I mean, you end up creating 20, 30 conditions, just like that. So in
Mm-hmm.
such scenarios, best way is that let whatever, is entered by user, okay? You convert to all uppercase or lowercase. So I'll say citizen equal to citizen dot upper. Convert to title case, you convert to something that you know how it works, right? So you can
Yes.
convert into uppercase or lowercase, okay, or title case. And here, okay, if I convert to uppercase, this value will be all upper, right? So I'll
Yeah.
check with India like this. If I convert to all lowercase, I can make it all lowercase, right? So now
Mm.
when you run it here, enter your age, I'll say 18, right? Enter your
Mm.
country of citizenship, I'll say India. Now, even though I've entered all small, it still is able to read it correctly because see, I can't control what you enter, what you give me, right?
Mm.
But whatever you're giving me, I'll convert into a format which I can compare. So you whatever you give me doesn't matter. I will convert that to all uppercase or all lowercase or whatever, and then I'm going to use it for my work.
Yeah.
Okay. So here I have converted into all lowercase, or sorry, or uppercase, and now I'm comparing with all capital. Okay. And then you're able to compare and check. Make sense? So this
Yes.
is one application of converting to lowercase or uppercase, okay, as the need may be. You might have to convert to upper and lower. Now, okay, in the blog where we are sharing all the files, there are some examples, okay, of practice problems. I want you to solve those practice problems. Those you'll have problems there based on loops, loops, conditions, your string and list. List we're going to do next tomorrow, not tomorrow. Tuesday we'll meet, okay? Monday we are not going to meet. Tuesday
Okay.
we'll meet, yeah, and we'll talk about list. But if you should be able to do it, the
Wait,
string functions also.
where are those?
The same blog location which I've shared with you,
Okay,
right?
okay. Sure. Yeah. I've
Right.
seen.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, please practice there. All the videos and the class notes are uploaded there, isn't it?
Um,
So yeah.
I don't
So
think the videos are. I see the class notes.
no, no, no. You see, videos are also there. You have not
Oh,
read it properly.
okay. I'll search for them then.
Yeah. Okay. Now there are a few more important functions, okay, which we need to know. Okay, so you have functions like index, you have function like count. What does this do? Okay, so let's say I have again a text here. Let's say I'll create str1 equal to how are you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now if I say here print str1 dot is alpha, will it be true or false?
True.
True. How can they be true? Just now we discussed that 26 and 26, 52 are alphabets. In that 26, do you
Okay.
also see space, question
Yeah,
mark?
we don't see space. Yeah.
Right? So
False.
yes, exactly. That's why it is false.
Okay.
Okay. It's not, true. Okay. So, yeah, this is your is alpha to check if it is alphabet or not. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the reason I was talking about this is, let's say print. Now, okay, index. Okay, now I want to know str1 dot index. Okay, so see here, PyCharm is telling you self. See, all the methods will have self. So you need to ignore it. We'll talk about what self means. Okay. Self means
Mm.
this is an object level function or object level method. And what it means, like we'll talk about it in class when you do class. So ignore that self first. We don't have to provide value for self. But then you see, you have sub, start, and end. So
Mm-hmm.
index, okay, you give substring. You give a string. Okay, sub is for substring. I
Mm-hmm.
need to search for substring, okay, and start and end. Start and end, okay, is the index position. Okay, so it's not compulsory. If I don't give start and end, it means I want to start from beginning till the end. Okay,
Yeah.
so here I'm going to say index str1 in index. I want to check O, so I will say O. Small o, I want to check small o, so small o. Now, when you run it, what is the position of small o?
1.
1. So that's why you get index as 1.
Okay.
Now, you have multiple O's here, right? But it will give you the position of first O only. Why? Index will give you only one value and first occurrence, first matching position will be given. Okay. But let's say I want index after third position. So I'll say index, this is a substring, and start value I will say 3. That means from third, 0, 1, 2 will be ignored. Okay, so 0, 1, 2 means 0, 1, 2. How is ignored, right? From here, what is the next occurrence of O? So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you get 9 here. Index of O is 9. I want between 3 and 7 only. Okay, so I'll say 3 and 7. 7 is your ending value. So you get error here. Okay, so index will only work if value is there. Okay, it will not work if value is not there. It gives you error. So when you're using index, you have to be very careful because your value has to be there. Otherwise, it will give error. Error means your program will end, right? And we don't want program to end abruptly. Okay, so this is not the like right way of index. You need to first check if value is there or not. Okay, so for that purpose, we have some, okay, let me delete 7. So for that purpose, you have something called as count or find. Print count. Count will tell you how many occurrences of value is there. So I say str1 dot count. You see, count also has X, the value that you want to count, start and end. So I say O. When I say O, it will give me 2 because there are 2 O's, right? Now, so if I want to check for O between 3 and 7, one option is you check if str1 dot count. If str1 dot count of O, comma, okay, between 3 and 7, right? So I'll say 3 and 7. Okay, if str1 dot count O, okay, this is greater than 0. That means count should be there, right? It should be greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, only then you will say print index, okay, position of 3 and 7. Okay, otherwise you will show, else you will tell print, you will say value O not in the given range, right? So if you run it, obviously you get, count is 0. There's no O between 3 and 7. So you say value O not in the given range. Now if I make it 10, so if I make it 10, then you do have at 9th position, right? So you, of course, okay, it has to also be 10 here, right? And now it will tell you, yes, the index is 9.
Okay. 36.
Okay, so this is how this works. We also have, okay, we also have, okay, something called as find. Okay, now why? Okay, so we found count. Okay, now let's say we talk about find. So I'll say str1 dot find. Find also has substring start and end. So find will tell you find me. So there's difference between index. Okay, index means you know it is there, but I don't know where it is.
Okay.
Okay. So index means you know it is there. Okay. But you don't know where it is. So that's why you're saying find me. Sorry. Index of where it is. Give me the position where it is.
Okay.
Okay. Find value may or may not be there. Find me. Okay. Sorry, I'm not able to find, right? I can say that, right? So find is to tell you the position. Okay. So now if I use same thing here, okay, so it gives you 9. Okay, the output is same. So you say find me. So you'll say, okay, it is at position 9. Now, if I do same thing with 7, okay, now what it gives you is -1. -1 means value is not there.
Okay.
Okay, 0 would mean that it is at first position. 1 would mean that it's at second position. -1 doesn't mean last element here. -1 means value is not there. So there's a small difference between your find and index. Index, we're assuming that value is there. That's why if it is not there, it's giving you error. Okay, if value is not there, it gives you error. But find will not give you. Find means find it. If it is not there, I'll say sorry, it is not there. -1. Okay. Or if you found it, then you give the position. Okay, I found it. I found it at 9th position, right? So this is what your find and index would do. And you also have something called count, which will help you to count it.
Okay. So we give a specific variable for to be found, and then we give the starting position and the ending
Yes,
position.
whatever you want to find, right? And see, it is a string. That variable that you're giving is a string, right? So it can be one letter, it can be multiple letters. It need not be just one letter. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you have to give only one letter. Okay, you can give multiple letters here.
Okay.
Okay, it just needs to have a string to check, and string can be a one letter string, it can be a multi-letter string.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There are a few more things which I want to, I want to talk about. So there's something called as strip. So if I have a value here, str2 equal to 1, 2, 3, H, E, L, L, O, 1, 2, 3. So what do you think the len of this will give me?
10 something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Right? Okay. So I'm going to say str2. And when you run it, you get 15. So you have 3 spaces here, 3 spaces here. That makes it 6. Then you have 5
10
plus
spaces.
4, 9. 9 plus 6 is 15.
15. Okay.
So you get 15. Now, I'll do what? I'll say str2 equal to str2 dot strip. Okay. And now I'm going to say print here len2. Okay. Give you 9. So strip will remove the spaces before and after. It will not remove the spaces in between. So if you want to see the value here, print str2, you can see. So the space that you see before is gone. There's no space before H and there's no space after O. Okay. So now you have 5 characters and 4 spaces in between, so 9. So strip will remove the blank spaces from beginning and from the end.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Now you also have split. Okay. So now let me write one more variable, str3 equal to I'm fine. How are you? Okay. Now, if I want to see this str3 dot split. So when you say str3 dot split and when you run it, you see it has broken into multiple words.
Okay.
So you can break, okay, a sentence into multiple words. Now, you see a square bracket, right? This means list, and this is our next topic, which we'll talk about. Okay, so for now, you understand that list is just like something similar to string. It can store multiple values, okay? So list can store integer, string, multiple values. It's like an array, we call it. Okay, it will store multiple values. So the string is storing multiple values here. So when we gave, I'm fine, how are you? Each of these 6 words are broken and put it as a list. So the input is a string, output is a list here. So split, output of split is a list. Output of split is a list. So str3 dot split will give you a list. Okay. Now, see, by default, it has broken it. Okay, by default, it has broken it on blank spaces. But let's say I want to break it on something else, A. Okay, so in this case, you can say, okay, split, and here you give the character on which you want to split. Now, if I say I want to break on A, then you see I space will become one word.
Okay.
M space fine H till this becomes another word. Because I'm saying split at A. So A will be gone. A will be missing. Okay. And okay, so it will split now into 3 words, you see. I space as 1, then M fine how space another, then Ray you question mark as 3rd word. So you can split. If you don't provide anything, by default, it will split on blank space.
Okay, so
if you
it will
don't,
have the A present in the string.
yes, and we'll break it there. It's like A is like your space in this case because I'm saying split at A. So generally, you might have sentences which is being passed to you using, let's say, a semicolon as space or comma as space or semicolon as space, right? So you can say split on comma, split on semicolon. So that's where this can be used. By default, you can say nothing, so it will break on space. Of course, you can say space also. Though it's default, you can still give it, right? So this is how you split. Now, if we have to join it, okay? So to join it, I have to say here, okay, value2 equal to str3 dot split. So now value2 will be of what type? So if I say print data type of val2, it's going to be type of
list.
Yes, right. It's going to be list to tell you that it is a list type. Okay, it's list. So now I can provide something called a join. Opposite of split is join. Okay, so your join, okay, is val2, val2 dot join. Oops. No. See, val2 is list, right? Now we're talking about methods of string. So if I say, right, so if I say val2 dot, all these that you see are properties or methods of list. These are not methods of string. So I cannot
Okay.
use, because I'm talking about methods of string. Join is, so I cannot say val2. So instead what I will say, I will create a dummy string, quotation.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a string, right? So if I say dot, now it gives me the functions or methods of string. I'll say join. And here I will pass val2. So I'm saying
Oh.
blank string dot join val2. Now when you run it, see, I am fine, how are you? It has joined. Okay. Now, okay, I can say space here. If I say space, then it will add space in between. If I say one, okay, I'll see, yeah, 1, 2, 3. So, see, so it added 1, I, 1, 2, 3, M, 1, 2, 3, find 1, 2, 3. Whatever you give in this dummy string, that will be replaced, okay, that will be put, okay, between different words when you join them.
Okay.
Okay, this is how you perform join.
Okay.
Okay, so you can split, you can join. Okay, you also have something called as find and replace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so find we have already said, and let's say you want to replace it now. Okay, now str3 is I'm fine. How are you? I want to replace this find with capital find, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
So you will say str3 dot replace. Replace find what? Find with find.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to say print
Val4.
val4. And when you run it, so I am fine because it replace capital find, sorry, small find with capital find, because I'm saying replace. So replace is a function which will find and replace the value.
Mm-hmm.
Now what if you have multiple find? I am fine. How are you? Are you fine? Okay. Are you fine? Or more than fine? What? Right? I'm just some random statement. Now,
Yeah.
when you replace it, see, I'm fine. How are you? Are you fine? All the fine have been replaced with capital fine.
Yeah.
So replace is replacing all the occurrences.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's see this. Okay. Now let's see this replace. I'll say str3 dot replace, right? So see, it has old value, it has new value. So I've given old value find, new value capital find. It also
Mm-hmm.
has a third variable called count. How many times you want to replace? So if I say here, comma 2, that means I'm saying only replace first two occurrences, not the third or fourth or fifth or sixth occurrences. So since I have said 2 here, only 2 occurrences are replaced. The third one is not.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how you can replace multiple values here.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, my mic was muted.
No problem.
Yeah.
Right?
So if
Okay.
we get a certain string and they ask us to um separate every single word, would we use the replace function? Like, or increase the spaces to a double
Yeah.
space?
Yes. No, I didn't get you. Sorry. What did you say?
Like if we there was a question in the assignment on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we get a certain string
Uh-huh.
and we need to remove all the spaces from the string,
Correct.
would we use the replace function, like use a
Yes, you can use. Yes.
string with the space, and the replace the second one would be a string without the space?
Yeah. So you need to
Last.
replace single space with whatever you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I'll try that then.
Right. Okay. So with that, we complete our discussion on string. Okay. Again, I said, please practice from the book, practice what we have done, and practice this from the book.
Okay.